Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well and are having a great start to your week. My name is Allie, and I'm a teacher with Tucson Unified School District and also TSW. So I am going to be taking some time this year to record little lessons for you guys. Whenever you have time with your instructional specialist or teacher, you're welcome to play these and kind of learn a little bit about some TSW related stuff. And then this will also help you with your VR binders. So everything I talk about are things that you're supposed to be learning about and knowing about in order to be a client with VR. So today we are going to talk about IEPs and METs. Now, I know it's not like the most exciting thing in the world, but it is important that we know what an IEP is and what an MET is because it affects us personally. So I'm going to show you a little PowerPoint. We will be stopping and I'm going to ask you guys to do some activities. And then there's going to be some follow-up things too. But take your time and just, pause whenever you need to. But I'll also be asking you guys to pause at times. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to jump in. So IEP and MET, and this goes with your VR binder, tab 1, legal documents. So for our anticipatory set, I want us to think about our strengths. What are you good at? What would you want someone else to know about you? So go ahead with your group or your teacher and pause and just discuss what are your strengths, and then what would you want somebody to know about you? Thank you. All right, I hope you guys were able to share some of your things you're good at, those strengths. It could be, something with school. It could be something with your job goal. So maybe I want to be, I want to work at Starbucks. I want to be a barista. So one of my strengths is being organized, and I can focus on many different things at once, which is called multitasking. That's really not one of my strengths, but that was just an example. So starting to think about how can I take my strengths and relate them to what I want to do for work. If I want to work with animals, well, I hope I'm good at having patience and being calm. So if you didn't talk about work, that's okay, but for the future, let's start thinking about tying it together. So an IEP, oh gosh, I was gonna ask, there's a little hint on the page, but does anybody know what an IEP stands for? If you said individualized education program, you are correct. Did you see my little hint up here? I forgot to read out. So this is just a little picture of what all of your cover pages of the IEP would look like. Now you'll see I blocked out things in red, and that's because an IEP is confidential, which means it's only for your eyes, your team, and your family. Because it has information on it that not everyone needs to know. So it's very important that if someone asks you about your IEP, you feel comfortable in sharing because you don't have to. It's confidential. So what is an IEP? An IEP is a legal document that talks about strengths, goals, and what helps your learning. Now there's way more to the IEP, but those three main things are kind of what I want to focus on today. Can anyone please tell me why it's important we know about our IEP? Any ideas? Go ahead and pause and discuss. Why is it important that we know our IEPs? All right. Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So an IEP, like I said, has many parts to it, but these three are what I want to focus on today. Present levels, goals, and accommodations. So if you look at these pictures, with our present levels, we have a little guy reading, writing, math. So those present levels are definitely a part that your teacher, your staff, and that you are very aware of, right? How well do I read, write, and do math? Or what kind of help do I need? Accommodations for reading, writing, math. And looking at those, looking at what we're doing right now and what helps you, all comes together and helps us create our goals. So I hope that wasn't confusing. I hope that was good. But you'll see that all these parts work together to create our goals, what we want to work on, what we're aiming for. So as I said, we have our reading, our writing, and our math, guys. I'm gonna try to annotate, and when I do this, I normally get frozen, but we'll see. So we have our reading, writing, math. There are more present levels. It's just, when you think of present levels, reading, writing, math just kind of pop out. But we talk about communication. So how do you communicate with other people? Are you using verbal, your voice? Are you using visuals, pictures? Are you using sign language? There's many different ways to communicate. Social, emotional. So how do you deal with other people? How do you feel? Motor, how you get around. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mouse back. And then self-help in daily living. Kind of those independent living skills. So do you get up in the morning by yourself? Do you use an alarm? Somebody help you? Do you independently brush your teeth, put deodorant on before you go to school? Those kind of things. Now, teachers, we write this IEP so that if you go on to a different program, or you go to college, or you go, I don't know, somewhere else, that person, that new teacher or new support person picks up your IEP, they can know a little bit about you. So it's all helping other people that you're giving that information to, because remember, it's confidential, but other people in your team can help understand what helps you. Oh, I felt really cool with that and it didn't work. All right, so go ahead, I have a little activity. Take a minute. You can either annotate on your screen, you can write it down, you can be creative and do something cooler. But go ahead and read the pictures over here and match. What present level is this an example of? So go ahead, pause, and we will discuss. All right, so has strong hygiene skills. That is a self-help and daily living skill. And that is because it's daily living. Every day we get up and we do a certain routine, something that we do over and over again. We're helping ourselves be prepared for the school day, and we're making sure that we are able to or go to work. So that would be an example of self-help daily living. Uses a crosswalk safely. If you said see, I can't see where my screen is. Motor, you are correct. So this is important. These are all important for when you're in school, but also at work. I want to know Bobby can safely get to work because he knows the route, he knows to use a crosswalk, he knows to stop and wait. So I would write all of that. He knows like I said, the bus route to get to his job at Fry's. So that is the kind of information that's really important, especially if it has to do with safety. Uses sign language. That, guys, I can't see my screen. If you said that is communication, yes, of course, sign language is communication. So that would be important to note if you use sign language. And last is kind to coworkers and supervisors. That would be our social emotional. And I have our little be kind sticker. Okay, thanks guys. I hope you like that. Which brings us to our goals. So typically we have goals in reading, writing, and math. Those are the goals I write for students in the ACT program. For you guys, you might have some extra. You might have a goal in self-help, daily living, or social, emotional, or motor. But typically, these three are always there. You need a goal in reading, writing, math. So I have examples. I wrote these as I write goals, which in teacher typing, it's kind of confusing. So The reason, though, I want us to learn this is because I want you to be able to pick up your IEP and be able to read it. Not just read it, but understand it. So go ahead and take some time to break these down and tell me, match. Is it reading, writing, or math? Go ahead. Okay, so most of your goals will always be written when you're given something to help you. Because remember what I said over here, my friends? Your present levels and what helps you create your goals. So I have your present level, which is reading, and I have your what helps you, which is an order slip and a menu. But that wasn't reading, sorry. So given an order slip and a menu, Jenny will be able to accurately type the name of the order and cost. That is writing. Typing counts. Given a word bank and a menu, Jenny will increase her reading skills by reading and matching the item to the menu. Oops. That is reading, and you had a little sneaky word in there to help you. Given a money template, Jenny will calculate the expense of each customer. Math, and we're calculating. And I guess I could say over here, type. So these are all things that are going to support Jenny on her job. So she clearly wants to be like work in a restaurant or something because she has customer orders and a menu. So these goals are going to help her work in a restaurant environment. And accommodations are what helps you. So it could be a calculator, highlighting words, having more time, or using visuals. Visual schedules are my jam. I love visual schedules. I need visual schedules. It's so much easier for me to look at a picture than read a bunch of words, but that's not the same for everybody. So accommodations are a part of your IEP, and they're so important because they help, once again, other people or yourself understand what you need. So that's the IEP. MET, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on. Who knows what an MET stands for? There's another hint. You said multidisciplinary evaluation team. You're correct. Now, I talk to students all day, every day, and most people do not know, not even students, families don't know what an MET is. And that's because an MET happens every 3 years. And it's called what is called like a reevaluation meeting. And it's usually, well, it's always held by the school psychologist, and it's usually part of your IEP. So they just come in for a couple minutes, or they stay for the meeting and they take notes. And their goal is just to check in with you and your team to make sure your services are fitting you. So we all have a documented disability, and they want to check to make sure that our services are matching that and that our disability category still fits. So they just come in and pretty much listen, and that's every 3 years. You don't have to prepare anything for it typically because it's usually part of the IEP. So I just talked your ears off for I don't know how long, but as a group for our closure, please discuss why is it important to know about your IEP? And then what can an IEP help you or others learn about? About you. Sorry, I had to reread that. So go ahead and when you're talking about this as a group, think back to this, not that, this, these parts. Why is it important that we know our present levels or goals or accommodations? Okay. Thank you guys so much. I hope you learned some new information about IEPs and METs. If you've ever wondered, like, what is this document? Maybe you already knew everything about it. There's going to be some activities I'm sending out to your teachers and your instructional staff that you'll have time between now to work on if you'd like. And then next week, I wanted to break it up. Originally, I was going to include the IPE in this, but I don't want it to be too much information. So that will be coming out next Monday. Once again, that's the IPE. So remember that everything that we do together, when you see my face and you hear my voice, let's try to relate that to what your job goal is. And if you don't know what your job goal is, that's okay. I'm here to help your teachers, your staff, to help you do some research. Um, Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to give my email out so that if you guys want to email me and ask something, you're welcome to. But thank you, and I look forward to working with you guys. Bye.